this is Noreen from Joya Cards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! For more of my Stampin' Up card videos, please click that subscribe button and the little bell, and you'll be notified when my videos release. Also, I give away the demo card, so if you're a first-time subscriber, put your email in the comments and I'll email you back and let you know if you won the card. Also, make sure you watch the video all the way through, because you never know, I might give the card away to anyone, or I might be doing card kits or swaps or something. So anyway, now let's go make a card. Hello everybody, today I'm doing this really cute little bee card with Shaded Summer, and yes, I'm using the soft pastel assortment. You can go ahead and use your Stampin' Pad if you'd like, but I'm using that. I'm also getting the bee from Garden Wishes right here and his little trail, and I'm using Stitched So Sweetly as a die. So let's get started. Start with our base, which is going to be a 5.5 by 4 1/4 in Poppy Parade, and we're going to do the inside of the card first because it's the easiest. And we're going to take a piece of basic white, and this is cut 4 by 5 1/4. We are also going to take Granny Apple Green, which is cut in the largest Stitched So Sweetly die, and then we're going to do another Stitched So Sweetly, the second largest Stitched So Sweetly. Now take your basic white and your detailed trio, and they've got a corner rounder on here, and all you have to do is put that in against the little barriers there and push down on it, and it will round your corners really nice. So let's do all 4 just like that. Now we're going to take that bee from Garden Wishes and his little trail here, but we're going to do the bee first in Just Memento, and I'm going to put him on the upper right hand corner like so, just like that. Now I'm going to grab his little trail here, which is right there on Garden Wishes, and I'm going to do this in Poppy Parade. I originally did it in black, and I thought it was just, you know, I'm not using black on this card other than this bee. I thought it was just a little too dark. So I went ahead and decided to do this in Poppy Parade. Now I am trying to get his little trail as close to each other as possible, because in a minute I'm going to show you how we're going to connect it all. So just do this all the way around. Now you can either leave his trail like this, or you can take the Poppy Parade Stampin' Right marker. Now these are different from the blender pens because they're not blending pens, but they're sold in a big set. And then every year when we come out with the new Stampin' Up colors, they have a new set of these coming out. And what I'm doing is I'm just gonna put little dots where I broke the chain, and hopefully there won't be a big gap like I did at the very end, but basically I'm just filling in all these points. And don't forget, I give away the demo card. So if you are a first-time subscriber, like and subscribe, and put your email in the comments, because I can't talk to you without an email address. You know, if you don't have your settings on right, you'll never know that I actually contacted you and told you you won the demo card. But put your email in the comments and say, I would like to win the demo card, and then you see if you win, I'll email you back. So I just went ahead and connected the dots, and like I said, you don't have to if you don't want to. Now I'm going to use the soft pastel assortment, and I'm going to take my blender pen, these things are great, and just run it along the Daffodil Delight, and it will color your small little bee here. I'm just going to color all of his bee wings and everything here. And now I didn't use Stays On. I used Memento. Probably be a good idea to use Stays On, but it's so small it won't make that much of a difference. There might be a little bit of smearing, but that's how you do the bee. All that's left for the inside is just nail these things in, and you're done with the inside. Now I chose not to put a sentiment inside because a lot of times it will prevent you from giving the card away if the, you know, if the sentiment inside doesn't match the occasion, like it's from a we and it's a they, or anyway. So I went ahead and left it off, and then we're just going to put it inside the card like so, just like that. Next, go ahead and make your sentiment tag, and I'm using the second and third smallest Stitched So Sweetly, one in Poppy Parade and one in Basic White. And then we're going to use this sentiment here from Shaded Summer and use our Granny Apple Green. And we're going to stamp it right here. And there's the sentiment. I'm going to take the sentiment, I'm going to put it up on dimensionals and just put it in the middle of the Poppy Parade. And we're going to put this to the side until the end. Then you're going to cut a piece of Granny Apple Green, and this is going to be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So that Poppy Parade is just going to poke out like so. Now to the exciting part. So when I started this video, I showed you that I am using the soft pastel assortment. How I got this to color like this is I used versamark. I'm not using my heat gun, I'm just versamarking. So I've got my little tray out here. I've got a piece of scratch paper under a piece of basic white, and the basic white is cut 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to put my anti-static stuff on here. And then I'm going to take the 2 large flower stamps from Shaded Summer and versamark them, and I'm going to stamp them off the edge of the paper. So I'm going to versamark this first and go here. I'm going to get rid of most of that stem, and I'm going to try to get it over and down without cutting off a flower as much as possible. Just like so, and it's of course invisible to you. And then I'm going to take my versamark again, and I'm going to get this all inked up with the versamark. And now I'm looking at it, I'm sitting down now, and I'm looking at it from where it's catching the light to put in my stamp, just like this. All right. Now I'm going to grab this little twig here as well, and I'm going to look and see if I need to fill in any twigs. So I might put one right here. I'm looking off in the light again, just so I know where everything is, and I just filled in a couple of twigs. Now the part you've been waiting for. First of all, you're going to take your soft pastel assortment and get the Poppy Parade and get some kind of little knife. And I put mine in a little dish because this is powder, and if I have my ceiling fan on or something's going on, this could spill easily off of something that's shallow. Or if I use my silicone craft sheet, it's just messy. So I choose to go ahead and do this. And I'm going to scrape off a bunch of powder in each one of the dishes. So this is the Poppy Parade, which we're going to use for the flowers. And for the leaves, I'm using the garden green, or the Granny Apple Green, sorry, and then the Mossy Meadow. So I'm going to scrape these all off, and I'll be right back. Now that all your pastels are scraped into your little dishes, I'm going to tell you to get one important thing. And this is actually super helpful when you're using this kind of chalky pastel. You need to get one of these kneaded erasers. They will come in a little square, at least mine did, and then you just pull off a little piece. So here's the square, and then I pulled off a little piece, and you just kneaded it in your fingers like so. And what this does, it magically takes off any kind of mistake or dust or anything. So this is the one that I am using here. I just got it at one of the big box stores. So this is like super important. Now at the end of this, I'm also sealing the card just because you don't have to, but if you're going to work a lot with pastels, especially something that's really solid, this is like my 3rd pastel video because I like it. This is a crazy awesome medium. You might want to get some Fixatif, I guess. This is at a big box store, and it protects pencil, pastel, and chalk drawing. So just give it, take it outside. Don't use it in your craft room like I did. And I have my ceiling fan, and it's like, it did not smell good in here. So but take it outside to your driveway, hold it like 12 inches above, and just give it a quick spray. So that's all I did for that. So we also need a couple of Q-tips, and we need 3 sponge daubers. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the flower. Now I just have the versamark on here. We didn't heat set it, do anything else. So I can see it, you can't. It's invisible to you. So I'm going to take the sponge dauber, and I'm going to try to get it only on the flower. And if you have to look at the stamp, just take the stamp here and look at where those flowers are, and you can see where everything is. So I know that this flower is right here, and I'm just gently dabbing it on, and there's a flower next to it right here. And what it's going to do is it's going to hold on to that versamark, and you're going to start seeing it come out. And I'm just kind of gently dabbing it on. Now, you might feel the urge to blow on this. Don't. It'll blow everywhere. Take your piece and flip it over into your trash can and tap it off. And that's what it looks like. Now, remember that kneaded eraser? I'm going to take this and I'm going to go around it and take it off. You can even try to use a brush like one of these right here, but make sure you tap off first, because all you're going to do is smear it. I'm even smearing it a lot here, and I don't really want to. So the kneaded eraser does work a lot better. And I would seriously go one by one as you're going around your piece, and try not to touch that versamark, and just kind of clean them up as you go, because that'll be a lot better. You can also, because there are open spaces in that flower, I can go inside the flower and take out some of the pigment that got inside, just like that. So let's start on the leaves. I had to cut the video there. I was starting to like spontaneously combust because I'm of a certain age, and I had to turn my ceiling fan on. So I've got my ceiling fan on high, so we'll see how well it does with the pigment here. Now there's a leaf or a stem in between these two flowers. And if you notice, when I went to go use my dauber, a lot of that dust fell off, but that's okay. You just pick it up, tap it off in your trash can, and you can even use your brush a little bit and get that off. But I did it again when I turned it over. It just flopped everywhere. So just take it, tap it off, and go in. And then I'm going to also do some other leaves around here. I'm going to do this one right here. So basically, that's what we're going to do. We're going to slowly go around, tap, fix, and then move on. This is how you're going to do the majority of the inking. I'm going to do this one right here. I know these are all leaves, so I can put this in pretty hard. Now I'm going to take a Q-tip, and there are places in between the flower and the two flowers here where there's a leaf, and I'm going to just take the Q-tip and I'm going to push it into that. The side of the Q-tip works better than the tip of the Q-tip, I have found, and I'm just going to place a lot of pigment right in between, and I'm really going to get close to this flower up here too. So try to get as much as you can on there, because they're going to cross. I'm even going to get the little leaf coming off of the flower here too. Okay, now it's got a whole bunch of excess powder on that, so I'm going to tap it off. I'm going to take my eraser. I call it my little eraser booger. It looks like a little booger. Anyway, I'm going to take my little eraser booger, and I am going to clean up around and inside the flower. So we basically got the first flower done. Now I'm just going to go in and do some simple adjustments. Like I'm going to take my Q-tip on the flower here and really push in that color hard so I get a deeper color on it. And like I said, after you're done pressing in the color, tap it off. Don't touch it, don't blow on it, don't use your brush. Tap it off into the trash can and then bring it back, and you can do your thing. But it's basically going back and forth, adding the color, get rid of the stuff around it, adding, and getting it to where you want it. So I'm gonna finish up the next flower and I'll be back. Before I finish that up, I also want to tell you, when you use your Q-tip and really put on some intense color, grab your dauber again and push it down hard, because you want that color to go in that particular spot. So push it down real hard. Of course, tap it off, and then grab your eraser and start cleaning it up. You just go back and forth. Now I'm going to grab that little bit of mossy meadow and give the leaves some different colors here, because they're so light. And I just think everything's better with a second color. So I'm just going to dab on a little bit of the Mossy Meadow, and then of course adjust the colors again. Now I'm in my final pass, and I'm going to go ahead and take that Poppy Parade and really push it into the flowers on my final coloring pass. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be back. Now that you've got all your colors on there, take your kneaded eraser here, your little booger eraser, and just knead it through it. That's how you kind of clean it, is you keep kneading it. And go ahead and give the card a final swipe. And you can even go over your flower, but it will lighten it up a little bit. If you don't want to do that, just try to go around it. Now that you've got this all cleaned up, take a piece of like parchment paper, not like wax paper, something, or transfer paper or something, and this is parchment right here. And just I'm using a block, and I'm just kind of pushing it into that versamark here. I don't know if it does much of anything really, but that's what I've been seeing. So go ahead and rub it in like that. And now we're going to go outside, and I'm going to give this just a very gentle swipe against just this part of the card, because I just don't want these colors to move. And there is a bit of ink packed onto the flowers, so I just want to kind of keep it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'll be right back. And now just the fun part. We're going to go ahead and snail this up and put it on the card. Don't forget that I give away the demo card. So if you're the first one, if you like and subscribe and you're a first-time subscriber, put in my comments that you'd like to win the demo card. Now I'm going to put on the sentiment. And if you're the first one, and you got to put your email on there. I can't talk to you without your email. So you got to put your email on there so I can get your mailing address and send it out. Or if you are a subscriber already and you've never gotten a demo card, you can do the same thing. And I did put that Fix-It-In on, and I'm just fine. It's not really all that wet. Now we're going to put on the little bumblebees. Here's a trick. If you have any of these paper pumpkin little glue dotty things, they're fantastic. They are really thin, and they hold on trinkets like you wouldn't believe. And unfortunately, you can't buy them. You have to get them in your paper pumpkin kits. But they're awesome. So these are great. So you just put them on and then pull off the little white backing. Hold up all those backings. And then I'm going to take my bumblebee trinkets and just stick them on. Aren't they cute? So if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. And don't forget about winning the demo card. And this will do it for me. So there is the card. So thanks a lot. Bye.